Hi, I'm the castle connoisseur and today we're looking at Carcassonne, France. There's been a settlement here between the 6th and the 5th century BC. It was first fortified as a prehistoric oppidum. Then around 100 BC the Romans fortified it as Carcasonne. The Romans built the original citadel on top of this rocky outcrop. Today the city has 3 kilometers of ramparts with 52 towers and an inner Roman wall from the 4th century. It also has a 13th century double curtain wall that makes the area almost impregnable. This murder hole or matriculation is placed right above one of the gates, and that's how you know it's matriculation. A citadel is essentially a small castle within an even bigger castle. These wooden things are called hoards or wooden hoardings. They're removable timber galleries to let the defenders drop missiles and shoot straight down. It's an impromptu matriculation. The double curtain wall are the hallmarks of the Capetian royal engineering under Louis IX and Philip III. They used the already existing Roman towers for their inner defence. All gates had murder holes, multiple portcullises and bends in the gates. The bends were to deny battering rams access to the gates and to slow down enemies. And you can see why. You can imagine how big and tough this portcullis was. These are the inner walls and towers. The way to identify Roman towers is look at the shape, look at the type of brick and look how they're laid. If you can see layers of thin brick and it's a U or D-shaped tower, it's probably going to be Roman, just like this one. Roman masonry often looks smoother as well, but that's just because of erosion. On the 1st of August 1209, the Crusader host arrives from Béziers. After a brutal massacre in Béziers, the Crusaders have now moved on Carcassonne. Raymond Roger was the Viscount of Carcassonne at the time, and he was very tolerant of the Cathars living in his land. This made him a target in the eyes of the Crusaders and the papacy. This resulted in a siege on Carcassonne in August 1209. A huge amount of people fled from the hinterlands straight into Carcassonne, so it was incredibly overcrowded at the time. The Crusaders used blockade tactics, which is basically cutting off supplies instead of storming the walls. Raymond Roger was captured while trying to negotiate. The city was left hungry and leaderless, and it surrendered on the 15th of August 1209. Carcassonne was given to a familiar name, Simon de Montfort. This was the first big victory in the Albigensian Crusade. Carcassonne became infamous for captured Cathar heretics. They would then be sent to the Inquisition in Toulouse, or immediately executed. This is a great example of what a wooden hoarding looks like. You can shoot straight down on anyone that's coming near you or near the walls. They were actually very common in medieval structures, but an awful lot of them don't survive today. This is a very good restoration. These are some of the ammunition used by mangonels, trebuchets, whatever you have. And here we see the grave of a knight. This is incredibly useful for historians because they use them to track how armor evolved over the centuries. And you can tell exactly what type of armor they're wearing too. Unfortunately, when Raymond Roger was captured, he was imprisoned by Simon de Montfort. He spent 3 months in the dungeon and then died. After 1209, Carcassonne was annexed into the royal domain of France, becoming the frontier against Aragon. During the 100 Years' War,